Seems important.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Chilling,
How you doing? Yeah.
chilling.
So we were just having like a really long conversation over dinner, and I was super surprised to find out you were in the Klan. Like that's. I've been waiting all night to start this podcast like that.
Maybe we should clear that up pretty
Yeah,
fast.
we'll clear that up. We're not
Untrue.
gonna take two. We'll clear it up.
Untrue. Not in the clan.
No, not in the Klan.
Clan adjacent.
Yeah.
Not in. No.
But you
That's
did
a
grow up in
great
near
intro,
Tulsa
though.
and lots of racism and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That was a wild time. I think I was telling you about our little town where there was the Klan still, and then you drive up this one hill, said KKK really big across it, and if as we would drive into town, different houses we'd notice just randomly caught on fire
Yep.
for seemingly no reason. It was crazy, but fortunately I had great grandparents and parents who did not raise me like that, and
Yeah.
taught us that everybody has their own merits, and make sure that you're judging people based on their character, and everybody has their own decisions and own responsibility. So, yeah, pretty cool to
Yeah.
to have that influence. So, fortunately, I
It
wasn't
turned out
influenced by all
okay.
the crazies there. Yeah, turned out all right, I guess.
Yeah. And you guys had a ranch out there, you said?
Yeah, we had a ranches in our family for about 5 generations, and a couple hundred acres. That's where I grew up, did homeschool, and we had a log house that we built for my grandma as we were growing up. And whenever you're homeschooled, you can do cool projects like that. So she said, "Yeah, I'm gonna move back from Michigan. Want to build a house on the ranch, and don't want to take your house." So we're like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
So we lived in the ranch house, and for that summer, we were work hands on their crew, and we did everything. I think I was 5 or 6 at the time. We used every tool except for the chainsaw and the big lift for all the
Yeah.
logs, and really cool experience.
Yeah.
So,
It's nice living in places like that where you're not so bogged down by what's it called? Like all the stuff you have to get from the city and all the rules and stuff like that. Like there's still rules, but it's not as tight as it is in California.
oh no, they're very into freedom out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our I
That's
mean,
fun.
our driveway alone was a quarter mile long. There's nobody. Our neighbors are half mile away on one side, almost a mile away on the other side, and you'd get your work done, you get your homework done, get your chores done, and then about 10 o'clock, you're pretty much done with all of that for the day. All my brothers and I have a bunch of brothers. We would just take off into the woods and build and play and fish and shoot and hunt. Really
Nice.
cool. Till I was about 9 years old, and then we moved into Tulsa. So
Why would you come out here with that kind of life?
yeah, we moved into Tulsa because my parents had split up whenever I was 9,
Mm.
and so Dad put me to sleep one night, and then wake up and he's gone. There's always all the stuff brews that you don't know about as a kid before
Yeah.
that happens. But my mom needed to start working, so she was a single mom with 5 boys, and needed to start working, and for more opportunities moved into the city. We were fortunate to go to a good school there, and we got scholarship to go to a private school. So I started, as long as we were basically the captain of every one of our sports teams. So I played four sports every single year. We had to keep a really high GPA, and then do after hours stuff. So after every game, we're cleaning the gym. Every summer I'm working at the school. So it was a lot of work, but blessed to be able to go to a good school, and
Yeah.
then got recruited to play soccer out here. in San Diego. My wife got recruited to the same school. We met in college, fell in love,
Rest is
stayed out
history.
here. So yeah, that's why I'm out here. And surfing. I always wanted to come out here and surf.
Yeah. Do you still surf? I don't know if I. Yeah.
No, no, I don't still surf. I dive.
Yeah.
Still dive sometimes. So we'll go out and lobster dive at night, but I haven't surfed in a long time.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
yeah,
I've been lobster diving.
yeah,
I'll have to try that out when I heal.
yeah. It's at night. Just swim out in the ocean, dive down, grab them with your hands.
Yeah.
Really fun. Not scary at all.
Yeah, I'll bet. I used to get scared just doing night surfing. It's like,
Oh, night surfing.
I hope
is
I see
terrifying.
the waves coming at me because
Whenever I first moved out, we didn't know about red tide,
mm,
and we thought it was the coolest thing. We're in
Yep.
San Diego, like, oh, all the waves glow. This is awesome.
yeah.
We have to night surf. We didn't know it was horrible for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's
So we're
not
out.
good for you.
We're out night surfing with all the what is the phytoplankton that
Mhm.
glows, and that was really really cool. But you get really sick after that.
Yeah.
So
You certainly can. Yeah, red tide's not. I think they sometimes make a bigger deal out of it than it is, but it's definitely not healthy for you.
Yeah.
It's not something you should do on a regular basis.
no, cool experience, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't do that anymore. So.
Yeah.
Did you used to surf?
I did for a while, yeah.
Where was your
Back
spot?
in my late teens, early 20s. Where did we? Usually Seal Beach. I actually lived in Seal Beach for a year, so I did a lot of surfing there for a while. Um, did a little bit of what's it called? Not San Clemente, but San Onofre. I did.
Mm-hmm.
Huntington a little bit. Problem with it was hard to learn because the California surfers are territorial, like especially at Huntington and Seal. So
Yes.
like if you're not keeping up and you're not, they're just like, just go in, get out of here. Like, well, I got to learn somehow. Like,
That's
there's
my
always
wave.
some cool surfers that are like, yeah, I'll teach you, man. Like, just but they weren't at the beaches that I was surfing at.
Yeah, Huntington is notorious for being really, really territorial.
Yeah.
Scripps in San Diego is really territorial. We got into some skirmishes down there.
Oh yeah.
You get on the wrong wave and you're on the wrong day with all the locals, and we won't go into all that. But I learned in Carlsbad. One of my buddies taught me,
Oh, okay.
and it's nice there. It's not as territorial. Learned there, and then La Jolla was our spot.
Mm-hmm.
So we do shores a lot. We do black some. And then as we got better and better, we moved up to Scripps, where all the locals were, and we got good enough that we were there enough. I think I was 4 or 5 days a week. I was there, so sometimes I was there more than a bunch of local guys. So
Yeah.
they start seeing you more, and you catch the right waves and learn all the whose waves are whose.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a really good time. Then we South Mission has a really nice left down there. We'd hit that. Wind and Sea. We had quite a few places, but La Jolla was really the jam. That was our go-to.
I feel like I surfed blacks once, but blacks, would you like park at Scripps and walk down, or did you walk down that giant hill to get to the waves at blacks?
Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've done Ho Chi. We didn't. We would.
Or I don't know what it's called. I assume it's just that really steep one that.
Yeah. So back in the day, Ho Chi Minh Trail there's this really really ritzy neighborhood up above,
Mm-hmm.
and you just drive down. There's nobody on the street. It's all gated, and then you see these bushes and this little opening in the bushes. I never knew where it was except that there was cars on the street,
Okay.
and so all the surfers would park right there. So I knew that I was getting close. Right between two of the houses, there was a hedge, and it would open, and you'd crawl through this hedge. It was all overgrown whenever we used to go, and then you get to the back of it, and it opens up, and there's a trail that goes all the way down to Blacks. So we would hike that, but we would never surf it. Like, to take your board down there, there's some really dicey parts of that trail.
Yeah.
These guys that do it are incredible, man. I don't know
No,
how
they're
they
crazy. And I saw a few of them like hiking down with it, but
do it.
the majority of them, I was like, do you guys really all do this, or do you just like go to the next beach up and walk down?
Yeah, we would go to shore, we'd park at Shores, and then we'd walk up past Scripps, past the
Okay.
pier,
Yeah.
and we'd just surf there. We tried to stay as you go further up north, it gets more and more nude, and so we
Mhm.
were like,
Yeah.
nah, we're here for the waves.
Yeah.
We'd stay
Right on
pretty
that
far,
border there. Yeah.
yeah, just north of the pier there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a long walk. We try to get in and get out back for school in the morning. So sometimes we park right up by the college, just above shores, and go down and hit it and come right back. But
Yeah.
one day, it was the most beautiful day ever, and my buddy Nick, Brent, and I, and one other guy were out there, and it was perfect. Just
Yeah.
perfect barrels coming in. Visibility was incredible. You're in like 12 feet of water. You can see every grain of sand on the bottom, every little ripple of sand, and it was going off. The other guy that was out there was a fourth guy, had to be a pro, and he put on a show.
Yeah.
He's doing aerials out of the barrel and everything, just killing it. And we're like, just clapping.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's amazing.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
awesome.
that was awesome. But did you shortboard or longboard?
Mostly longboard. I think the last time I surfed was like a 7.6, but I think I've got a 9-footer back in the ADU back there.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
shed. Yeah, that's Lax is funny because it was like growing up, I always heard this legend of like a nude beach called Black's Beach, and it was
Mhm.
just like, whatever, dude. This is California. There's no such thing as a nude beach. And then when I was in college, a friend of mine, what's the beach that's just south of it? Is that
Scripts?
Scripps? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought it was. We were just going to hang out at the beach, and we just, parked at Scripps and just kind of started walking, and eventually hit Black's, and I'm like, wait, this is real? Like, this is all those years, man, from grade school. This is actually real. What's going on
It's
here?
a real-
Like, it's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's crazy.
It's like seeing a Yeti.
Yeah.
What my wife and I used to hike that. We go down there often for like our anniversary or like little
Uh-huh.
getaways down there. And the first time that we ever hiked it, we had gone down, which I've gone down there a bunch of times, and where that trail comes out, there's never anybody naked out
Mhm.
there. It's awesome. So we just surf or whatever. So we were walking along there, and we noticed this helicopter hovering overhead, and they're doing a rescue. One of the paragliders had was it paragliders
Yeah.
with the
Mhm.
yeah. I was like, which one has the triangle and which one
Yeah.
has the fish? Anyway, so one of them had gone into the cliffs, and they were rescuing him.
Oh.
So everybody's looking, we're looking, and we're staring up at the hills, and I look over. There's this old, like, French dude with a big old belly, butt naked,
Yep.
just looking up. I was like, Trit, don't look to your left. And she's like, why? Oh, I told you not to.
Yeah, right. If you hadn't said anything.
Yeah. Might not have noticed, but that.
Yeah, I always wondered about that with those paragliders, whether they'd ever like hit that hill, and I mean that would be kind of scary.
Yeah, I guess they do. I mean, they
Yeah.
did that day.
What's funny too is when people picture like a nude beach, it's not like it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of supermodels on the nude beach.
It's
It's
not
a lot of those-
attractive.
it's those confident Italians that come over and just like
It's all the old
not that
dudes
there's
who
anything
stopped
wrong with
caring.
it. Like, everybody's body is everybody's body. I'm not body shaming or anything, but it's not what most people picture when they when they think about it.
Yeah, I'm not out there. We'll just put it that
yeah,
way.
exactly.
I'm like, I'm good.
And now the podcast got canceled.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get a lot of questions at church now.
Yeah.
So you and Lark visiting the nude beaches, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
So confessional.
hey,
All right.
they need Jesus too.
I had a buddy who this kid from church that I used to go to, and mentored him for a while, and he started working at Spearmint Rhino or something like that. It's like an HR person,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, what are you doing? And
Uh-huh.
what are you thinking? And he's like, I'm just out here ministering. I was like, no. I'm pretty sure that's not what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you, and maybe there's people who could do that, but
Yeah.
not,
Not
you,
you.
not a
Yeah.
not a 19-year-old kid. That's probably not.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious. But podcast wise, that we were wanting to talk about.
Yeah, so we're on this forgiveness topic for a while.
Mhm.
Um, I just I don't I keep telling people that come on, like I don't know why. I just one day was like, huh, let's talk about. I mean, it's one of the 6 F's to freedom, but um, suddenly it just kind of felt like that's what we were supposed to talk about, and maybe just because the way the world's going right now, it's like we need a lot more forgiveness all around. Like
Yeah.
everybody needs to chill out, and you know, every post I see nowadays, sometimes I get Chris Pratt in my head, like everybody chill the f out. Like it's just everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Get off social media. Um, but yeah, I just started texting my friends, and I got good response, man. Like I was like, "Hey, you guys have any stories of forgiveness?" And everybody was just like, "Yeah, I do." So, you were one of them. So let's hear your story.
I've got several stories of forgiveness slash redemption uh, throughout my life, but one of the things that has inspired my journey of forgiveness or whatever you want to call it is that you can't go forward without going backwards. You can't go forward with confidence unless you clean up the past,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for those who don't know, I do real estate stuff in LA, all around Southern California, and there's a lot of posting and different stuff that you have to put out, marketing purposes, and you don't want if if you start putting out a whole bunch of stuff and you have a bunch of skeletons in the closet and
Mm-hmm.
everything, that's going to come out really really fast,
Yeah.
and if you have stuff that's not dealt with, it'll come out very very fast, and it's like you want to go be able to go out confidently, and you want to be able to um, you just that whole thing, you can't go forward unless you've cleaned up the past,
Yeah.
and that's been something that's I don't know where I heard that. I'm sure somebody put that in my head. Somebody said that along the way. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably I wish I could give them credit, but it that helped me. And I had gotten into not all stories of redemption or of forgiveness are as simple as like, oh, I said sorry and then we
Yeah.
lived happily ever
I
after.
would
And
almost argue none of them are.
I mean, if that happens, great.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, a road to true forgiveness seems like you have to go through some stuff in order to get there.
Yeah.
There's usually a moment in time where you have to take ownership for something. You have to go back and dig something up that you would rather have die, and
Mm-hmm.
just fade away. And then you got to go through the work of changing.
Yeah.
And I had a situation where I had gone into a business with my dad whenever I was right before I had gotten married, and it was to buy an insurance company in Oklahoma. I was getting married in California,
Mm-hmm.
so I bought an insurance company with him. He was licensed through Allstate. I was licensed as an agent, but I wasn't with anybody, and Allstate's exclusive. So he said, "Hey, would you like to buy this agency?" Said sure. It had been around for a long time. The guy had a bunch of different businesses and he had let some stuff go. He didn't do anything illegal,
Mm-hmm.
but he had medical issues, and his family had medical issues, and he hadn't kept up on payments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to in an insurance company, you got to take your payments, you got to put them into the bank so that the insurance companies can draw those payments
Yeah.
out and keep all the policies going because the people pay you, right? So with all the different things he does. He was a great guy, really stable in this community, but they had lapsed. And
Mm-hmm.
then a storm had come through, and there was claims. And they were calling up the insurance companies. And they said, "Hey, we don't. Your policies are lapsed. We're not going to pay.
Mm.
Not good, right?" He had all the money. It was still like
Yeah.
checks were like in drawers and stuff hadn't been put in. So it wasn't that he was intentionally doing anything illegal, um, just negligent, really, because he was just stretched too thin. Well, insurance commissioner came in and everything, and he needed this company to keep going, and so I stepped in and took over the business and put everything under my license, and I went back. That was May, trying to remember the date, May of '06, I think. Anyway, I went back, reopened everything, uh, got all the licensing switched over, got a manager in place, did all the computer systems, did all the signage, did all the company stuff, bank accounts open, all this. Got the whole thing up and going, signed all the paperwork to buy the company. And then I got it going in place and I came back out to California. Everything's running.
Mm-hmm.
And I start getting my grandfather lived in that town. My dad lived a couple towns away, like 100 miles away, and he ran his Allstate agencies, and my grandfather was there. Well, I start getting these calls from my, or I had gotten a as we were starting up the business, the bank would say, "Hey, you're overdrawn." I'm like, oh, okay, we're kind of start up here, got
Yeah.
cash flow and everything. So I'd call my dad and like, hey, because he was my business partner at the time. Say, hey man, can you go deposit some money, while things are clearing or whatever? And I'm not taking any money from the business, by the way. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm this is like just pure startup, you know, transferring everything over. I'm not taking any kind of salary, any kind of anything. I think total I might have spent like $200 out of the business total, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he would say, "Oh yeah, let me call your grandfather. He'll put some money in there, and whenever I'm in town, I'll just give him money back, and no big deal." Okay, whatever. Well, this happened a few times, happened more times, and then come to find out, he was never paying my grandfather back. So my
Oh.
grandfather's like, "Hey, you owe me a lot of money." I'm
Yeah.
like, "What?" It's like, "No, I don't." I was like, I know my numbers. I don't owe you that much money. If I was like, "No, no problem. We'll be there." I had just gotten married. Said, "I'll be
Mm-hmm.
there next week, and we'll settle up, right?" So he's like, "No, I think you owe me a lot of money." It's like, what are you talking about? He goes like $60,000. It's like, no, I don't. What? So I start pouring through all my books and everything. Come to find out, my dad's paying for all of his own personal expenses out of my business account,
Oh.
cars, houses, all the stuff, and not telling me. And my grandfather's funding it,
Mm-hmm.
not ever contacting me about it. Just, I don't know what they were thinking. But anyway, I sit down with them on my honeymoon,
Yeah.
say, hey guys, we don't commingle funds, period, ever. You ever do this again, I will never do business with you again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, they're kind of sweep it under the rug kind of people. Very sweet. Grandfather's great guy. Don't want to speak ill of him at all. But the very next week, it happens again. Call my dad and say, hey, this isn't going to work out. So I sell him, it's $1.5 million book of business. I sell it to him for $1 and cut ties.
Yeah.
Hey, not doing this, right? So that was in December of '06. I'd just gotten married. Fast forward a little bit to the spring. Hey, Dad, did you do the taxes? Yeah, no problem. It's my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You think, yeah, he's going to take care of it. Uh, Go forward, 2009, I buy my first house. I'm married. I have my first kid. I've got a second kid on the way. Um, the recession has hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's '09. The recession hit. We had to go that year. We had to go from 35 employees down to 15 in our company, our business out here,
Mm-hmm.
overnight. Um, we were working around the clock. I would go
Yeah.
into work on Sunday night and work through the night all the way to Wednesday every single night and not go home. Then I would catch up for the rest of the week. I'd work a normal week, 12, 14-hour days. Then on the weekends, catch up and do it all again. I think I did that for
Jeez.
like 10 or 12 weeks or something. And in the middle of this, I've got new wife at home, first house I've ever bought.
Mm-hmm.
And I start getting these bills in the mail from the IRS, and then the franchise tax board, and then the
Yeah.
Oklahoma tax board. Hey, you owe 60,000 here, 30,000 there, 25 there, whatever. I'm freaking out, right?
Yeah.
So I call my dad. Hey, did you ever file those taxes? No. Did you ever take the business, transfer it or whatever? We signed all the paperwork. No. So
So it's all still in your name.
all of the income coming in from this agency is all under my social as non-taxed income. So I then went on a 6-year uh, quest to fight the IRS, the Franchise Tax Board, and the Oklahoma Tax Board. At the end of it, came out without owing anything. I
Oh,
showed them
nice.
that I had sold off the business. The guys and they were so nice. I had told them what happened, and they're like, "Oh, maybe we could get you some money back or whatever." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to owe anything. Like,
Yeah.
just get me out anyway. So, um, went through that whole thing, and this was before I was in real estate or anything like that. But I won. I didn't have to
Mm-hmm.
pay all this back money. I'd shown that I had gotten out of the business and gotten rid of it and cleared everything up. I remember the day I finally got my final piece of paper saying you don't owe
Yeah.
anything. It's done. It's like, oh my gosh, finally over. So fast forward, and the guy that we had bought the business from, I'm like, I know, I was young and immature at the time. I was not diligent to follow up on all those things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm focused on a whole bunch of other stuff, and in my immaturity, I let things go, right? So then I'm starting this real estate career, and I'm like, crud.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's things that have not been taken care of. So I call up the guy that we had bought the business from, and I said, hey, I just wanted to get your number one, see how everything went down, how it affected you. Make sure that you have, I know that you have my number, but make sure that you have an opportunity to say whatever you want to say to me and see how much money you're out, right? So he says, hey, I really appreciate that. He's a great guy, really, really great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hey, I know that I've known your dad since we were kids. I know that it wasn't you. I know that it was him. And so you and I are good. I said, well, what was the damage? He gave me a number, and and he was like, yeah, but again, that's not you, that's him. It's like, okay, well, really appreciate your time, and so then I just start sending him checks. And I
Mm-hmm.
sent him the first check, and I said, I have no idea how long it's going to take me to pay this back, but I just want you to know my name's going to be good. I'm gonna pay this back. My name will
Yeah.
not be bad, and start sending him checks. Keep sending him, keep sending him, keep sending him. And I've paid quite a bit of it, over 50% of it by then. And my grandmother passes away. He is in this main church in this little town that we're from, and he helps with the funeral, for my grandmother. Again, great
Mm-hmm.
guy, love him to pieces. He corners me at the reception. he goes, he goes, hey man, what are you doing? So what do you mean? What am I doing? He's like, why are you sending me checks? I said, you know why I'm sending you checks. I
Yeah.
wrote you a letter and I told you why I'm sending you checks. He said, that's not your debt. You don't have to do that. I was like, you don't seem to have any problem cashing the checks. I know that they're getting cash. And
Yeah.
he's like, look, I appreciate it, but we're square. We're good. I said, I'm happy to pay it. I know it's not technically my debt, but I'm happy to pay it. And my name will not be bad. And he's like, I'm telling you, stop sending me checks.
Yeah.
So I went home, talked to my wife about it, prayed about it, and felt peace to stop sending him checks. So I sent him one more just for good measure,
Yeah.
and sent him a note. Said, "Hey, I know you told me to stop. I just want to really, hammer home like my name will be good. Here's one more check just to show you how serious I am. If at any time you think that I have any more obligation in this, you let me know and I'll resume payments."
Mm-hmm.
And left it at that. And my through that, every time I go home, every time I'm back in that town, everything, I know I can hold my head up high. I
Yeah.
know I honored God with how I handled that situation.
Yeah.
I know I could have used that money for other things.
Yep.
Would have liked to use that money for other things. But sometimes the road to redemption is really hard.
Yeah.
And going down that road is something that I don't regret at all. I'm proud of how I handled that situation, and proud that my family can be proud of how I handled that situation. All my brothers, everybody who still lives there, can be proud of that. So it's not always as straightforward as, hey, sorry, let's move
Yeah.
on. Sometimes that road can be really long.
Yeah. That's kind of been the theme as I've talked to people is everybody kind of says the same thing, that it's not that simple. Like it takes time and it takes effort um to get to that redemption, to get to the true forgiveness.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, it's some days I'm just like, God, why did you make this so hard? Like, why, like it's why couldn't it just be that simple to just say sorry and move on? But it's all it's all character building. It all builds you up spiritually too. I was talking about that with Charlie Battaglia yesterday actually. Um, that the process is necessary, like not just for for both physical and spiritual healing. Like we started talking about process, and I was like, you know what, like if my healing, my physical healing from the surgery went faster, I'm not sure that I would have been changed that much.
Mm.
Like I would have gone right back into okay, now I got to get to work, now I got to this, now I got to that. Whereas making me slow down as long as I've had to has really, excuse me, kind of helped me to slow down spiritually and really kind of work on those relationships and first with God and then the people around me. And I just don't think like it hadn't occurred to me until yesterday as we were talking about it, but I just don't think you can get there without the. You can have forgiveness without the process, but it's so much richer if you have to kind of fight for it. You have to kind of go through the process of it.
Yeah. Any character that I'm most proud of always came at the back end of hardship.
Yeah.
And I that whole analogy of heat and pressure
Mm-hmm.
makes the best tools, and I want to be useful,
Yeah.
and the most useful tools went through heat and pressure, right? And so instead of a few years ago, my prayer changed from God, get me out of this situation. Just
Yeah.
make it pass. Just make it end. It went from that to God, leave me in this as long as it takes to help me learn the lessons and build the character I'm gonna need to be more useful
Yeah.
for you, for your kingdom, for my family, for those around me. And that's a really crappy prayer.
It is.
it,
Most of the good prayers are crappy
yeah,
prayers. It's
right.
like,
It's like praying for patience, right?
yeah.
You know
Yep.
that's gonna come, and it only comes through those situations.
Or
So,
praying that God would use you like I did when I was 18. And yeah,
what happened in
not
that situation?
well. It hasn't fully yet. It's been a lot of process. Like you expect it to just be okay. I'm gonna make a difference in this world, but in order to become the kind of person that makes a difference in the world, you got to go through it.
Yeah.
you know, you gotta. It's been the whole human trafficking thing. I've been a little impatient with. Just wanting to get it started and wanting to like make a difference. Um, and I'm slowly realizing like it's a process. Like I have you where I have you because this is what it takes to make you who you need to be in order to because this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's not just going to work and holly go lucky. It's serious business dealing with something like human trafficking and people being slaves and stuff like that. It's just I mean, the stuff that Corey goes through, like, I just don't know, or went through, he doesn't so much now, but when he was in the field, I was just like, dude, I would be, like, killing people left and right, like, probably have to cut that out. Let's cut that out. I would be, like, bashing people's heads in left and right.
I don't know if that's better, but
uh, for some reason, the K word, like, doesn't go well on social media
oh yeah,
or YouTube for some reason.
it would unalive them. It
Yeah.
would
Oh,
unalive
don't
'em.
alive him. That always cracks me up, dude. It's
Yeah,
just like, oh, shut up. It's the same thing.
the,
Um,
the guys that do that kind of work are just a special breed. That
They are like I don't know how you do it.
uh, I I don't I don't think that I could without
Yeah.
becoming very very violent towards
Mhm.
people who are invoking so much violence on others. That
Yeah.
oof oof. There's a book. I'm trying to think of the guy's name, but he and his wife do a lot of missions. Gosh, they do missions all over the world, but oftentimes in military, it's very militant what they do,
Mhm.
and a lot of the operations that the military actually goes into, you've got people who are just outside of
Yeah.
the firing range or of the actual action that if they call them in can jump right in, right? Well, they do all these missions without that,
Mm.
and I remember in the book, it's so great to have a good, strong woman behind you as well. Because in the book, I remember he says, "Hey, this mission it's extra dangerous. We have very little time to plan. We have very little resources. We are going in without this extra cover and everything, and and I could die. There's a high chance that I'm not coming home."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "I would rather be the widow of a hero than the wife of a coward.
Yeah.
Get out there." I was like,
Yep.
"Oh, that's a good lady," you know.
And you're
That's
like, "Are you sure?"
yeah. Could we talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the response I was expecting.
It's the whole gladiator thing, you know.
Yeah.
Either come was it come home on your on your shield or under it or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't seen the second one.
I don't
But
think I have either. Yeah. The first one was enough men in short shorts for me.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Colin said the second one was pretty terrible anyway, so I just
Really?
didn't bother.
I mean, you've got the Battle of Thermopylae, and then you've got what they all died.
Yeah.
What do they do in the second one? It's like
Yep.
their kids. I don't know what the plot is even.
I had a friend. You ever see that movie? What was it called? The one where they're in the fishing boat and the two hurricanes come together, and um, I forget what it's called, but anyway, like everybody dies at the end. So a friend of mine was just like, "How do they know all this story? Everybody died." It's just like
It's the one guy that floated to
Yeah.
safety.
Perfect
you know?
Storm. That's what
Oh,
it was.
Perfect
Yeah,
Storm.
Perfect
George
Storm.
Clooney?
Yeah.
Is that the
Mhm.
one? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I fell asleep in that one.
Yeah, probably. It wasn't a blockbuster, but
I remember seeing that come out. Yeah, man. So what have you learned along your journey uh, of this entire heart process?
yeah, it's just a lot more patience, a lot more um like trying to let go of fear. Like I was telling you guys earlier, like the hard part is you don't know in the beginning how long it's going to take you. Like you have the healing process, but there's also like this nagging little thing in the back of your head right after it happens of like, what do I have to do to make sure this doesn't happen again? What if it happens again? What if instead of just like, okay, I've had this surgery, I'm good. Like I'm not going to go eat a bunch of cookies, but like I need to stop worrying quite so much. Well, mostly it comes from like because right after you have the surgery, you have your body's doing all these different things and you have these different feelings and like, sometimes something's going on with your heart and it's not anything dangerous. It's like they're called PVCs, preventricular or premature ventricular contractions. But they feel like a little tick in your heart, or sometimes even a little more extreme.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You're just like, am I going back? Am I going back? Am I like, what's going on? You're like, and so after a while, you just kind of have to train yourself to like, no, it's okay. It's an electrical issue. It's not a like heart clog issue. So like, what do I have to do that? Which has made it kind of interesting because I've had to do a lot of research of like electrolyte balance and nutrition and stuff like that to kind of ease those. And I actually had, so when I first started getting them, I asked for a referral to like a electrical heart guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like in May of last year, and the soonest appointment they had was January of this year. It was like 8 months later. I'm like, dude, what if I die by then? Like, what? that's a long time. So one of the exciting things that's happened is being able to cancel that appointment. Like I didn't even go because I've got it under control. Like I
Nice.
feel them every once in a while, but not as badly as they were. So
Yeah.
So yeah, just getting over that fear, just really, like you get just a whole new perspective on life and on everything, and suddenly things that seemed important before aren't quite as important now, which is sometimes hard on the marriage too, because sometimes those things are important to her still, but not to me. Not like, oh, you don't matter or anything, but just certain things where it's like I used to worry about it so much, and now I'm just like, eh. It's like
So,
it,
something about near-death experience just tones everything else
yeah,
down.
like it just
Yeah.
tones everything else down.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a combination of that and like I'm not going to do anything that I never want to go to the hospital again. Like I'm not going to do anything that will, cause tension or create any kind of heart disease or anything. Like I'm never going back there again. So, um, it's just yeah, and I suppose if you tie it all around, like you learn process and you learn journey like really well when you're recovering from major surgery like this. Because even just the healing process, I was telling you guys earlier, like there's they say it takes a year to like fully heal. Well, what I'm finding out is it takes up to 2 years because your chest bone like it fuses at first and kind of heals regular,
Yeah.
but then there's like a second process that I'm going through now where the bone kind of starts expanding and creating new bone and stuff like that, and like just lifting anything makes my chest sore, and
Yeah.
for a couple weeks I was struggling with muscle spasms that came along with that. um,
Well, and
I
then you
think
have
I
the,
did well. I
the
think I did something that really set it off, and then from then on I had other things that I had to do, so I never let it heal completely before I would aggravate it again.
mm, and then you've got the atrophy of all the muscles, and
Yeah,
like, so is this pain from atrophy? Is it muscle pain? Is it bone
it's a
pain? Is
little
it
of
chest pain?
everything.
Is it,
Like,
it's like navigating all that and relearning your body
yeah,
is, I'm sure, a
I have
journey in
never
itself.
been so in tune with and I don't know very many people that are as in tune with their bodies as I am. And this is what I try to use my social media as much as I can to reach out to people that are going through this. And it's like, because you have to learn, like, particularly I've gotten really good at it now, but when I first started cardiac rehab,
Hmm.
like I had to, they're constantly asking you like any chest pain, any this, that, or the other, and you have to like know,
Yes,
yes,
yes, chest
yes,
pain.
I'm sore, but it's musculoskeletal, it's not internal.
Yeah,
And that's kind of the first thing you learn is like how to separate like what's actually a problem with my heart and what is just soreness from healing from a
yeah,
major surgery. So
yeah.
yeah, it's all process, man. It's all, and it all, the
Really
fun part
quick,
about
can we
this,
pause this at all?
we can,
Is
yeah.
it possible to pause this? Is Liam over there?
Don't pause it, Liam. Just let it run, and I'll
Just let it
edit it
run and
later.
cut it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run to the restroom
yeah.
really
Go
quick.
ahead.
I'm about to pop here. I don't know. Can we stop it?
Yeah. Sorry, I should have gotten the cue from you, leaning forward. Yeah, we'll finish soon anyway. Evacuation complete. Name that movie.
Oh man, I'm blanking. What is it?
It's Austin Powers.
Oh.
Evacuation complete.
Sorry, baby, I
Complete.
didn't know it was your turn.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
The
those in a
classic.
minute.
Yeah, they got progressively worse, but it's like, that first one was always a classic.
Yeah, just like all the James Bonds, they got
Yeah.
worse.
Yep. Yeah, I remember talking to my dad, and it was I don't know if I can say it on here. One of the woman characters, I think it was Doctor No, and I was like, "Did that mean the same thing back then?" He's like, "Yeah." You think you invented that? I was like, "No, I just
Nothing
didn't
new
know."
under the sun, man.
So
So
yeah, I think we're pretty close to wrapping up anyway. But
on
yeah, just
forgiveness,
practice. Mm-hmm.
in the other interviews that you've done, who did you determine that forgiveness was for, and what's required for forgiveness? What are some of the nuggets
You.
that you've gotten out of there?
Yeah.
For the forgiver.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of the. I don't know if we all got there, but definitely with Charlie yesterday, like that was kind of the conclusion we came to. Is that like 99% of the time, unless there's mutual like problems going on where you both have a problem with each other, like 99% of the time the forgiveness is for you, the forgiver, because the person you're forgiving probably doesn't even know that there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time it's usually for your own health and for your own spiritual health. So
So apology not required.
not necessarily. Yeah, I mean, unless, like I said, unless there's a feud of some sort, we kind of came to the conclusion like you don't even have to call and apologize because you may open a can of worms that wasn't even open anyway. So
Mm.
it's more for you to kind of move on and heal yourself. So
Yeah, I think a lot of I think a lot of healing can come out of that act of forgiveness. I think sometimes people weaponize that.
yeah,
Oh, I forgive you.
yep,
It's like I didn't do anything, but I do think from a healing standpoint, so important to live in a state of forgiveness.
yeah,
And I want to be somebody that is hard to offend.
yeah,
There's a fine line between being walked over and hard to offend.
yep,
You need to have rules. You need to have standards. You need to have a backbone. But at the same time, in general, I think being hard to offend is a much more enjoyable state to be around
yeah.
than really thin eggshell.
Yeah, it kind of trips me out sometimes, the things people apologize for after they say it. I'm like, it takes way more than that to offend me. Like, come on, man. Like,
Bring
you
it
know me
on.
well enough. It's just, you're not even close. Just
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah, I want to be a good forgiver. Be quick to forgive, um, in my own life,
Yeah.
and always hold out hope. Out of the story I shared, obviously that's a tough thing for Father and I, and
Mm-hmm.
that's put a riff in our relationship for many years. Um, but we still talk. Still, I saw him at Christmas whenever I was out there, and while he's living a different life and with not as much meaning as I wish that he had.
Yeah.
I want to hold out hope that he can be the man that I think he can be,
Yeah.
and a man that has a full life and a lot of honor, a lot of respect. But that's for I still want to keep my heart open, love him, care for him. The hardest thing is whenever your kids get involved now,
Yeah.
and then you got to help them keep their heart open to somebody that hurt their hero,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they're little, right?
Yeah.
And talk good of them even whenever you're hurt by them.
Yeah.
Try to protect that relationship. So that can be tough.
It can be. I really I had kind of a similar situation where even my mom was like, "Why do you let your kids do this?" I don't want to say what it is because I doubt that they're watching, but just in case. Um, and they were little. I was like, because they don't know the difference. Like they don't know what they did to you or me or anyone else. They just know them as such and such.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to take that away from them. You know, like that's not mine to take away from them. They have a great relationship with this person, and I'm just going to let them have that. You know, and it's kind of helped me improve my relationship with that person because, um, you know, I know my kids love them, and I'm just like, why am I going to hold on to a grudge? I'm not going to. Whatever, it's in the
Yeah.
past. Like it's,
What's that saying? Bitterness is an acid that does more damage to that in which it's stored than upon that
mm-hmm.
which is poured.
Yeah.
Who was that one from? I don't remember.
I don't know.
It's a
We
good
were
one
talking
though.
about that yesterday about I couldn't remember the exact quote, but something about like the unforgiveness is like drinking poison yourself and hoping it poisons the other person.
Yeah, when the other person
Yeah,
dies. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But we all do it. You know, we at some time or another, the natural inclination is to do that, and you got to work yourself out of it.
yeah.
You know, give the whole cliche, give it to God, but I mean, it really is that simple.
To a certain extent, yeah. It really, and you know, maybe this is part of the process. Maybe that's why Holy Spirit said to do this series on forgiveness because it's really kind of teaching me some stuff too. I mean, stuff that it's kind of hitting stuff home. I think you know it's a lot of stuff that I kind of knew, but you don't really practice because you think you're good, kind of thing, and then you're like, oh, maybe I could improve in that area. You know, it's,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
but there's you know kind of the same thing as you. There's stuff that I want to do that you know, particularly with the trafficking, that I have to clean up the past in order to um, in order to be able to do that. So
yeah, yeah.
um,
Clean
I
up
want
the
to be
past is tough, man. It's really tough, but
yeah, I
it's
want to be
worth it.
above reproach. I want to be like you know, I don't want anybody. Now, there's a limit. Like I'll probably never run for office, not because I have skeletons in my closet, which I don't think I do, but because it's so easy nowadays with AI and everything to just like make something up and then everybody believes it. Like I don't want to put anybody through that. Like
Yeah.
unless I'm like get a true call from God, like I want you to be president of the United States, I'll be like, I don't need to mess with all that and
I
put my
don't wish
family
that
through
on
all that.
anybody.
Yeah,
That's so
no, it's
terrible. No, part of what we do in real estate is family law real estate where they intersect, and so
mm-hmm.
we're constantly, we can be put on the stand as an expert witness or, testify to all kinds of stuff pertaining to the case or valuations, but we meet a bunch of other experts, and we're constantly doing continuing education in that field. And one of the experts that we brought on, his entire job is figuring out deep fakes and all of the,
Mm-hmm.
you know, verifying if something is actually real or not. And he's showing us basic technology stuff that's
Yep.
out there that everyone has access to.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a terrifying world of
Oh, it's so
technology.
scary.
Oh,
It's so scary. Like, and in this world of you're guilty until proven innocent, like that's doubly scary.
yeah.
Like they can just look at this and be like, "Oh, you did this," or you know, someone can just say the word, and you're like, "Wait, there's no proof."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And
but
and even if what we're finding, as I get deeper and deeper into that world, is it's not necessarily whether you can prove that it's right or wrong or true or not. It's, do you have the deep enough pockets to get the experts enough time to
mm,
pay for their time
yeah,
to fight that it actually is, even if 100% it is true.
right,
Can you prove it in court, and can
yeah,
you pay for the experts to do it? And they are not cheap. I mean, the whole
yeah,
court system just is a money drain. It is crazy.
yep,
So, but he terrified us with
yeah.
stuff,
I can
and,
imagine.
and how creative people are getting with deep fake stuff. How creative they're getting with different texting apps and everything that show a conversation. People are bringing printouts of text conversations to court as proof that this person said that, but you can edit them, you can delete them, you can literally go on to a site, and there's a site that is a texting app, so you can have multiple conversations and develop it with the names and everything
Mm,
like it's your own. It's a pretty simple app, but who
yeah,
thought to use it like that? And they're literally getting restraining orders, taking away kids, all that, unless you bring this guy in to verify and prove that you didn't actually send that text.
Yeah.
You aren't actually crazy.
It's
It's
crazy.
really wild.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah. No kidding.
Ugh,
I don't know
wanna
how
work.
anybody does it.
Not by choice.
No.
It's crazy. I don't know how we got on that. We went down that rabbit hole, but
I don't remember.
anyway.
I tend to go on rabbit holes on here.
Yeah.
I like the conversation. I try not to nail it down too hard.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the next topic on?
I'm thinking about doing a couple of theater interviews. The kids have a show coming up, or Kaylin does anyway. So I'm going to talk to them about maybe bringing some of the cast in and interviewing them and getting people to see kind of a behind the scenes, like who the cast members are and stuff like that, and hopefully, you know, share that and sell some tickets and that kind of thing. So
Oh, that'd be cool.
yeah, so I might do that. I've got at least one more on the forgiveness thing lined up, and then I don't know, see where it goes from there. Like, I'm super happy with the traction I've gotten so far. So, I'm just praying to God, like, give me a 52-week year this year. Like let's do all it, because up until now it's usually just I start it and then I run out of guests and it's
Oh,
like
okay.
just kind of sits there for a minute.
Yeah.
So
So you're trying to do one a week for the whole
Mhm.
year? Gotcha.
yeah.
Very cool.
So
Very cool. Do you speaking of forgiveness, do you want me to share the story that I shared out there with the Black Wall Street stuff? Since we started on the KKK, do you want to
yeah.
bookend it with
let's
where
bookend
why,
it with
why you saw I was in the Klan? I'm trying to redeem myself here.
Just for the record, everybody.
For the record, not in the
Lark
Klan.
is an amazing guy and would never have been in the Klan.
The reason that this got brought up was because the Klan was in the area where I grew up as a kid, and we were talking about redemption and how the story of Black Wall Street and how that had been redeemed, and how God brought people into my life that I was able to connect, even from growing up in a place with the Klan to actually being instrumental in helping the historical accuracy of this movie come out 100 years from the date that it happened. So for those of you who don't know, in Oklahoma there was Black Wall Street, and it was this booming side of town. Tulsa is divided into north and south, was extremely segregated, still is somewhat segregated to this day, not strictly, not by law, but back then it was very segregated. North side of town was black side of town, south side was white side of town. And there was a whole event where a young guy and girl got on an elevator. You know the story?
Vaguely.
We won't go through the whole story, but the punchline is our own Air Force was called in to bomb. I think they leveled like 37 city blocks
Mm-hmm.
of the north side of town, killing tons and tons of people. Horrible massacre. I grew up just a couple miles from where that happened in a different time. I was there in the late 90s, early 2000s. That happened in 1921, I believe. Came out to California. Anytime that somebody from Oklahoma came out to California, they would call me up, say, hey, you got to meet up with Lark, right? Because we're all related. I don't know. Anyway, young guy, met up with him. Anybody who comes out, I try to give him kind of like the Hollywood experience, like the LA experience. Go to a rooftop, restaurant or whatever with good views and really do it up. So I invite this guy. He comes out. His name's Dennis Delamar, and come to find out, he's a producer, director, and writer. And we start talking about that because he's from Tulsa, and they never taught us that in school, and which was crazy because it happened miles from where I grew up. Never taught in Oklahoma history, American history, etc. And so I was pretty fascinated by that because I learned about it in college in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So meet up with this guy over dinner. He's got a passion for it. We start talking about it. He says, man, I'm going to do a movie on that. I said, awesome. We actually have a video. Yeah, we're early days. He'd been working on a little bit, but hadn't really talked to anybody about it. Fast forward, I meet another guy who's one of my clients. He's a doctor um, in Playa del Rey, and older African American guy who grew up right on the north side of that dividing line. I was on the
Mm-hmm.
south side. He was on the north side. We grew up just a couple of miles from each other. He's, I think, 30 years older than me, so grew up in different times, but really connected on and started talking about it. And he's like, "Oh man, I've been studying that for years. I have all this research." He starts pulling out all this research. So I snapped some pictures of it. I said, "Would you mind if I connect you with my buddy,
Mm-hmm.
who's a director and whatever of this movie?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem." I connect them. They start connecting the dots of all these historical references, and really, tried to dial in the accuracy of the story before they finished it up, shot it, and they released it. I believe it was 100 years to the day
Mm-hmm.
of when it happened, and so
Yeah.
kind of cool to go from growing up in an area where there was the Klan all the way full circle to helping birth a story that is not told even in that area.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty
and you
cool.
skipped the part that you said earlier where when you first got over here, you had a teacher that was talking about it, and you're
Oh,
like, that never happened. What are you talking about?
yeah. In college, he's talking about Tulsa and talking about that massacre, and I raised my hand. I think it was like 100 people in the classroom. Said that never happened. He goes, "Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe you should go research." I was like, "I grew up right by there. It never happened." And he was, considering I called him out in front of a whole class, so
Yeah.
he was very gracious because I was positive I was right,
Yep.
and he was very gracious. Said, "Okay, just go do some research," and I did. And I thought, "Oh my gosh,
Yep.
the government lies to us."
Yep. Wow. Go
What?
figure.
They didn't tell us the truth. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was the beginning of the end of that whole
Yeah.
trust part of my life. But yeah,
What's that movie called?
Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's actually called that.
yeah, by Dennis
I do.
Delamere.
Yeah, I do remember it coming out, but I never ended up seeing it. Now I'm super interested.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I'm
have
always
a,
more interested
have a watch
because
party.
like you never know what you get with Hollywood. Like sometimes it's just a dramatization that has nothing to do with anything. But now hearing the story of you connecting those two people and them like really taking the time to get the facts straight and
Yeah,
make sure it's accurate. Like now I really want to go see it.
yeah. Cool. Okay. You never know. Never know how God's going to use you or
Yeah.
who He's going to use, and who. That's one of the coolest parts of my journey is, I'm from a town of 98 people,
Mm-hmm.
but God's allowed me to meet all kinds of crazy people along my journey,
Yeah.
and just brought them into my life and me into their life, and allowed me to serve them and be part of their life, and it's been a really cool ride. I never know who I'm gonna meet next.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
and now here we are, right here with you.
Here we are. Yeah.
your
Now you're
studio.
on the #1 podcast of all time.
That's right. That's right. Just getting my
Soon to
name out
be.
there, man.
Yeah, we're gonna take out Joe Rogan on this one.
I think it's going to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming by, man. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
being on and sharing that story and being vulnerable with it. And yeah, it's really been a good journey. It's tough when you have to when you're a little stubborn yourself. Like I keep telling the story, like I had vertigo for a month and that didn't do it, and then I had a hole in my foot for a couple months and that didn't do it, and finally the heart attack was the one where I'm like, oh, you trying to tell me something? Sorry, I'm listening now.
Yeah.
um,
Didn't get the taps on the shoulder,
yeah,
so had
didn't
to
get
get the
taps
club
on
in the head.
Yep, basically.
Uh,
So,
yeah, well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Always great connecting. Good connecting with other
yeah,
godly
absolutely.
men, and appreciate
Glad
what you're
I know
doing.
you, man. It's been a good friendship.
Yeah, many more years to come.
Yep, most definitely.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, have a great night, day, whatever time you're listening to this, and we'll catch you on the next episode.